Let's look at some evidence, shall we? First of all, let's start with the silliness and find out if Arthur Mumby was thought to be Jack the Ripper. He was a solicitor and used to hang out in the City of London, pretty much where the law is based today, where all the barristers' chambers are. Is he a relative of Mumby J, the head of the Law Society now, or is it the Law Commission? One of the two. He heads the secret family courts and often proclaims to be a hero by allowing the press in to listen to certain court cases and things. Of course, he could change the law in a moment if he wanted to by announcing a landmark hearing. He could easily change the law. There doesn't have to be any more secrecy. But of course, the family courts are a business and they rake in a lot of money every year, especially regarding children and adoption. And the incestuous nature comes specifically from the Tory party, which is contracted to Kensington and Chelsea, which is contracted really to Malcolm Rifkind, which has been contracted to the arms trade. So you're looking at links everywhere. These people include people like David Cameron, who has, according to child abuse victims like Ben Fellows, had huge TV programs and TV series disappear from when he worked at Carlton TV. This is true. Also, a program I was in called London Today, which celebrated a tribunal that I won, which embarrassed Kensington and Chelsea Legal Department in 1997. It disappeared. London Today disappeared, as did an entire television series called The Pretenders, which pretty much showed up the royal family for being the fake that it was by using true history. So it's very strange that these things disappeared, and to think that there's no connection, I think, is a bit naive. And we have had for many, many years, we've had a very dark, satanic side to Kensington and Chelsea. I noted when I was a little girl, I noted there were children prostitutes in the area, child prostitutes, or children prostituting themselves because for the sake of running away. They seem to be hoping to find a nice man to look after them. And they were incredibly vulnerable, and of course they are not looked after, not cared for, and they've always turned a blind eye. You see, the very left wing are easily conned. People with big egos are very easily conned, and I've known such great actors and actresses who are given lots of flannel and soft soap and do believe lots of nonsense. Anything to cover up what is clearly plainly right and plainly wrong. If it makes sense to some people, they'll believe it if it's comfortable enough. Unfortunately, when you're making judgments about somebody else's life and they're a youth, a child, infant, you need to remember that those people don't have a choice in the matter. That's what it's about, the law. That's why we have laws, because kids are not aware of their rights and their until they become of age, of legal age. They're generally not aware of their rights, and I think that's why we have laws. They've been certainly thought about. They've been judged over. We have great laws, but unfortunately they're not being implemented well enough, and it's all a big confusing mess that between the paedophiles in Europe, in the EU, and paedophiles over here. And in the States and all over the world do conspire, and they do conspire to pervert justice all the time. You know, that's what they do. And of course it's up to the good guys to learn everything they can about psychopathy, about everything to do with psychopaths and how they think. The only way you can beat a psychopath is to become one, and to know how they think and gain their trust, and that's the only thing you can do. And of course that's what the police do all the time. That's how they catch people, is to become psychopaths themselves. Unfortunately, they have to do things they don't want to all the time, and that's it's part of the job, goes with the territory. But and policing isn't what it used to be because of all the crooks and crime that goes on online on the internet. And but we've got more information now than we've ever had before, so we're hopeful that we'll get the bastards, you know. But the thing is, the good police are doing a fantastic job, and they are clamping down on all the so-and-sos who are guilty. And it does look like David Cameron's got something to worry about. It does look like Malcolm Rifkind is sincerely guilty. It does look like the senior judge in the United Kingdom could be guilty of certainly conspiring to pervert justice. Another thing about him, about Mumby, is that he seems to cherry pick children, disabled children. He oversees tribunals for SENDIS, special educational needs tribunals, and seems to target certain parents. It is abuse. They are doing terrible abuse to people. They know what they're doing. To them, I think they're so divorced from innocence. You see, they sit in darkened rooms all day and judge people. That in itself is a sickness, as far as I'm concerned. You sit in the darkened room all day and judge people, you've got a problem. And I don't like doing it myself. I like to listen to a bit of music and do a bit of art or something, just listen to some radio, do something nice. Because you focus on negatives all the time, you're going to become negative, you're going to become hateful, you're going to become one of them. You can't do that. That's not what good people do. You have to break away from it. So these judges have too much power. They're still wearing the silly wigs. They're hundreds of years out of date. They bend the law to suit themselves, like any con man's outfit would do. And that's why we haven't got any law anymore. We haven't got decent law. It's now a lottery as to whether you're going to get any justice. We don't have great British justice anymore. Haven't had it for a long time. They will be good to a lot of people. They'll deal out good law about 98% of the time, but the margin's getting wider, I'm afraid. So there are genuine cases, a minimum amount, but really are genuine cases of people who are suffering huge, gargantuan miscarriage of justice. And that includes an awful lot of disabled kids who can't speak and can't communicate, and young kids with learning disabilities and things are being beaten and abused. And I've heard that Tom Cruise is also involved in this. Well, he's also got a place in Kensington, as has Led Zeppelin's guitarist, what's his name, Jimmy, the tall sadist guy, used to hang out in Chelsea with the Stones and things. They're not very bright, these people. They haven't developed their sense of humour. They're good at crafty stuff, but they don't have a sense of humour. They don't understand humour. They can't connect to humour at all. It's very strange. They never develop their humanity. It's all about itty-bitty details and anything to escape their emotion or their humanity. It's quite bizarre. These are the world's psychopaths, and it's very sad that they're not in touch with true happiness. They do put on a show, don't they? They really do put on a magnificent show of that we are big, we are happy, we've got big flashy cars, we rush about the world and meeting famous people, and I'm all big and happy and bright and smiley. And no, you're not. You're on drugs and you're hitting people and you're desperate to control people and you do anything to destroy people. That's not happy. Not happy at all. It's not loving, it's not nice, it's not happy, it doesn't lead to good sex, it doesn't lead to good relationships, it doesn't have good anything. So unfortunately, the good guys always win because we have great sex, we have great friends, we have great company, we always have the best of everything, whether you like it or not. Even though we suffer a great deal, we vomit a lot, we get upset stomachs, we get panic attacks, and we freak out at your disgusting evilness. But we don't let it bother us for too long. We move on to the next thing and the next thing until we can do something about it. Because we're fabulous and you're shit, bad guy. Okay? See ya.